Good day, ladies and gentlemen, I'm Briareos Kerensky and welcome to not quite an unboxing, surely not a first hour play or a review. I'll need to come up with a name for things like these. It's not the first time I've done this kind of thing, and it's actually been a while since I've done the last, but as this is the latest and probably last art book regarding the Etrian Odyssey series, or Sekaijuu no MeiQ if you are in Japan, I think it's worth to go through all of this book with which it's kinda big. And as it covers two games, Sekaijuu no MeiQ 5 and Sekaijuu no MeiQ Cross, or Nexus if you are outside Japan, let's see if I'll split this video into or do just one long marathon. But let's go to the book itself. On the front cover we have the bikini armor for the new class introduced in Cross/Nexus. On the back, some old faces, at least a mix from 5 and X. So this comes out, and to avoid ruining the protective sleeve, let's remove this, and so that we can also take a look at the cover beneath that. And let's also remove the registration card before starting. And here we are. So I don't know how much spoilery this book will be. Me myself, I still actually to complete Sekaijuu Cross, while the book starts with Sekaijuu 5, of course. Oh, this is the wall scroll that was included with the limited edition in Japan. So I was saying that I'm still completing Nexus. I just passed the Western Shrine. This is the soundtrack. And we start with the races. It's kind of a pity that race and class selection wasn't improved in Cross. Although of all the features 5 had, that was the least impressive, I'd say. Although I consider Sekaijuu 5, I still like the game, but it's one of the worst of the series. It felt like almost tired. Not done with the same care and passion as 3 and 4, and 4 being my favorite of the whole series. And in fact, not even of the Untold chapters. I'll keep my thoughts on Nexus when we reach that section. I had an hunter in my Etrian Odyssey 5 party. Specifically this portrait. Because ever since the first Etrian Odyssey, all my parties were all composed by female adventurers only. Here there are also studies for the various emblems. For everyone wondering about this book, it came out the 1st of April. These are the extra classes that you could download. If I'm not mistaken, they were free in America and in Japan too. By the way, this book came out on the 1st of April in Japan, if I'm not mistaken. And myself, I bought these. I'm trying to open the book a bit more. Okay. Without trying to ruin the bindings. And I've bought this on Play Asia. I will usually have gone with Ami Ami, but they didn't have this book on sale or on pre-order. Haha, nice variant. So yeah, of course, this NPC is spoiler. And yeah, although this book is named Characters of those two games, we have also the introductory art. Am I skipping a page? No, I'm not. Of all the labyrinths, and we have also a world map. Yes, this is the extra labyrinth, the end game. And then we move to the city locations. One thing I miss from Sekaijuu 5 and Cross is the airship or the ocean from 3. It was a very good diversion, and I really hoped it would be back in Nexus, but unfortunately it's not there. There is a world map that is absolutely not quite the same. Oh, ma che art! Yeah, I recognize this artist because it pops up on my Twitter feed a lot, retweeted by other Japanese artists. He focuses now mostly on Fate Grand Order, and it's nice to see him doing, or her, I don't really know that, Etrian Odyssey stuff. Also, if anyone at Atlus is by any chance looking at this video, please, oh very please, Mystery Dungeon 2 from the Etrian Odyssey series, please. Very, very please. 2016, Etrian Odyssey 5. At the same time, it feels so close and also distant. Although I think that Etrian Odyssey 5 that we are completing now and Nexus we are starting with this page are the last two 3DS games I've played. I don't quite remember anything in between the two Etrian Odysseys. I might be mistaken, sure. And my thoughts up till now for Cross is that I wish there was a droid class in Etrian Cross, although the hero partially does that niche. My thoughts on Nexus is that I'm liking it, but I'm finding even more boring in a way going through it than 5, because aside for a handful of bosses from what I've seen now, I've just defeated the Western Shrine boss yesterday. Everything has been recycled from previous games, including the music, which the music in Etrian Odyssey was always something to look forward to. And also the maps feel like they had to fill everything without creating really interesting layouts. Did I skip a page? No, I didn't. So these are the Etrian Odyssey 1 portraits that are also inside Nexus for those who want to, let's say, go back to the past. Of course, I have a medic in my party, and I didn't go for the Etrian Odyssey 1 portrait, but for the one from 4. Because the female medic from 4 is even more nerdy than the one from 1. And I think that these sketches are from the Etrian Odyssey 2 art book. I feel like I've already seen them, and kinda makes sense. It's not like they have changed. It's nice to see old faces in Etrian Odyssey Nexus. Although I wished for the Exer and Ronin from 1 to be in it. Although they already had a sort of cameo in Etrian Odyssey 3. They weren't the same characters. I always thought that it was a very nice throwback to those two. It was nice to see Artelinde, I'll give it that. And sorry if I'm spoiling the game for those who haven't reached that part of the game yet. So yeah, I also have a land sketch with this portrait, although I changed their colors to around this shade, because I called her Aina, and Aina from the 8MS team at Green Airs. Yeah, these are the same sketches from 4. If it wasn't for all these sketches and all the character portraits, hello Imperials, I love Imperials, this book would have been a third maybe? Which goes a long way in showing how little new things are in Nexus, unfortunately. Oh, the Alchemist. I particularly love this outfit. Unfortunately, it wasn't the final one. Mostly because I love Kipaos. But hey, I'd say that almost everyone will look good in a Kipao. In Etrian Odyssey 1, I went for this portrait for the Exer. Or was it 2? No, it was 2. I didn't add an Exer in the party of Etrian Odyssey 1. I hope there will be a monster section after this one, at least for the new bosses. I wish there was an Arbalist in Nexus. I like the class in 4. She was in my party. Totally not the new Gundam. If I'm not mistaken, there is an image of the Zodiac class with the fin funnels from the new Gundam. And this is the Medric portrait I was talking about earlier. And of course, when I'm talking about that, I haven't completed the last Etrian Odysseys because I've postponed playing it in English, although I do have the Japanese version of the game, and I did an unbox on that. It was also nice to see her back from Etrian Odyssey 3. But yeah, as with, I'd say, everything from Cross, I would have preferred something that didn't delve in the past so much. And if it dwelled in the past so much, I think that... oh, this is spoiler! I met this character, but I didn't reach this phase. Yeah, this is bad. This is spoiler. So yeah, this from this point onward is a spoiler for Cross, at least for the characters. And of course we have the backgrounds. The backgrounds are always great. And this, once again, is spoiler. I won't really say what that is, but if you went past the Western Shrine, you exactly know what that is. I hope these are intending illustrations. Package art. Extra chapter. Oh, these are interviews. Director and character design. Director is Shigo Komori, character designer is Yuji Imukai. I absolutely love Imukai's style. Especially if you've played Yuzo Koshiro as a composer, of course. Especially if you followed him ever since the very first Etrian Odyssey, you've seen his style evolve massively from that game through all the Etrian Odysseys and in fact everything else he did. Also, this is all advertisement for the old games. I think this is Famitsu. It's a disappointment that there isn't even a very, very small section on the handful of new bosses in Cross, or even those that were in 5. They could have skipped the DLC for both games because at least I already have that material in other art books. And rather than being simple the characters of these two games, it could have been an art book covering both these games in all their aspects. I'm also very curious how this series will evolve. Of course, without a 3DS or a let's say, two-screen system, they will have to find other ways to create such games, because it's not Etrian Odyssey if you can't draw your own map. This is how I feel. If they continue to do dungeon crawlers game that, of course, they are incredibly good at doing, I hope they do something new and not carry the Etrian Odyssey series without the ability to draw your own maps. I do remember that in the Wii U days I hoped for an Etrian Odyssey HD collection or something like that. And with this we finish the book. Let's see if I can... yeah, kinda. But so, this is the Sekaijuu no MeiQ 5 and Sekaijuu no MeiQ Cross art book. It's a definitely good read if you like this series, although, as I said before, they should have skipped the DLC content, especially when it's about classes that were already described in previous art books, and concentrated on all the new materials for... So, sorry for that, my camera decided to shut down for whatever reasons. And what I was saying, I wish they could have done something covering everything new about those two games, rather than recycling, in fact, oh so many things from previous art books. But anyway, if you are a fan of the series, I think you should get this book. It's definitely a good read. So, I hope you have enjoyed this, just video, and you'll stick around for more. Sekaijuu, over and out.